I never get. Okay, we're live now. So this is Mónica Stoker from Blog del Inglés. And I have here with me Craig Whelan.
Hello, hello everybody. It's lovely to see you again, and it's great to be back with Mónica. How was your summer, Mónica?
Well, my summer was great, but it's long forgotten because I went in July. So imagine, so it's already 2 months. So not really, well, fantastic, but you start working
Of
again.
course, people watching in Argentina, people watching in Chile, they're going into their summer now. So I hope you have a wonderful summer if you're in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah. Christine is here. Christine. Hi, Christine. And I suppose Gemma will be here, I'm sure.
Hey, Christine, happy birthday. It's Christine's birthday. We have to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Christine. I think it's today.
Okay, yeah. So it's a cozy audience here. We know everybody here. Okay, so Craig, do you want to add anything about the summer? About any? You did a Facebook Live with Lynn already.
Yes, we started again last week with Lynn. Yeah. This week's with Mónica. Next week will be Lynn. So we'll be a regular every Wednesday with either Mónica or Lynn. Yeah. Just so you know, we're back to the normal schedule, the normal routine.
Okay. So the topic for today, Craig. I thought about this topic because I thought maybe it's a nice topic because in Spanish we can translate these expressions, these collocations with a reflexive. It's a kind of reflexive tense. For example, I didn't say it was collocations with get. Okay, and first we're going to study get plus adjective, okay? And the first one we have is get tired, to get tired. So it means the process of getting tired. For example, I'm getting tired because nobody's asking questions. I'm getting tired because Craig is asking silly things.
As usual, yeah.
Which is not true.
And I always get tired in the afternoon. The afternoon is a time when I get really tired, especially after lunch. Do you get tired after lunch?
Yes. Usually I get tired after lunch. And so in Spanish, we usually translate this term as cansarse. So sometimes you could think of get as se because it's reflexive. It's like you receive the action. Okay, cansarse, me estoy cansando, or with estoy, me estoy cansando de las nadie pregunta nada, okay? I'm getting tired, so that's very easy. I'm not so sure the next one, I'm going to leave it for Craig.
Why did you give me this one, Mónica? Do you think I'm getting old? Is that why Craig has to speak about getting old?
No.
Okay, let me ask you and people in the chat.
You're getting young.
We're not getting any younger. That's that expression. We're not getting any younger. Every day we get a little bit older. Here's a question for you watching in the chat, and if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching us on the replay. And Gemma and Christine and Mónica, can you tell me some good things, some positive things about getting old? People always speak about the negative things when you get old. What are the positive things?
One thing is you get wiser.
Yes.
I'm sure you're much wiser than when you were 15.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't do silly things. I don't do so many silly things now that I'm getting old, now that I'm getting older. Okay. Also, I think I care less about things. Not so many things bother me. If there are any problems, like if I break a cup or I don't know, the television's not working or something, I don't care as much because I realize these things are not so important. So as I'm getting older, I don't let silly things bother me as much.
Christine says, more patient.
More patient. Sometimes, yeah,
Some people get
sometimes.
more patient. Some people get impatient.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends on the person. I think you have it two ways, no? So getting old,
Yeah.
I wanted to say is envejecer. So also is a kind of envejeciendo is a process of doing that. So now,
Gemma says
how about
experience. Yeah, you get more
getting angry?
experience.
Okay,
You
now
get
I guess, yeah, you get more experience.
you
Oh,
get
there's another.
experience.
Let's go back there. Gemma says you experience, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
You get experience.
Experience of
Okay.
life.
Okay. So, and I wanted to talk about getting angry. It's also the process of getting. Be careful, don't confuse this with hungry, because it's very common to say it's also possible. Hey, Craig, I'm getting hungry, but
Me too.
but in this case, I chose get angry because it's enfadarse. So it's the process of getting angry. For example, little by little, somebody is doing something that annoys me, and I say, "Whoa, you're making that noise. I'm getting angry. Why do you make that noise?"
Do you remember the last time you got angry?
No, because I don't usually get angry. When did I get angry? Do you usually get angry?
No, another good thing about getting old. I don't get angry as much as I used to.
Ah,
I
this
don't
is also true.
I don't get angry in the car. Sometimes, well,
Ah,
years ago, I
driving,
used to get angry
driving. Yeah, me too.
driving with road rage. It's
Yeah,
called road
road
rage when you get
rage,
angry
road.
in the
Yeah.
car.
The road
But
rage is como
not
rápido.
anymore. No, I'm more
Yeah, me
patient.
either. I don't care too much. I know I cannot remember when did I get. Really not, because I very seldom get angry. It has to be something that
You're
really,
lucky.
really bothers me. No, because it's my character. I don't
No, yeah,
like
but you're lucky.
people.
You're lucky to have that character.
Yeah, but it's because I had some family members that were really horrible. They were always angry, and I thought, I don't want to get angry all the time. You go to a supermarket or you go to the restaurant, and there's something that goes wrong, and you start shouting, and
Yeah, it's
for me, it's
horrible.
not a good idea.
Have you heard the
Okay.
expression to be hangry?
Oh, but I just mentioned that.
No,
But what?
hangry.
No.
It's a
A
combination
combination.
of
Yeah.
angry and
Yes,
hungry,
yes, yes, yes. This is
and
very, very common.
it's when you get angry because you're hungry.
Yeah, and that's very common. I
You're
think my
hangry.
husband has that. My husband suffers from that, and I'm very shocked to say, "Whoa, what happens here?" And then I think, "Oh, he hasn't eaten." That's the only answer. He eats and is a completely different person. Do you get hungry?
Um, do I? I get, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in a.
we should ask your wife, because you're not
You should ask my wife. Yeah, but
yeah,
I do get angry when I'm tired easily. If
yeah,
I'm very tired, if I don't sleep well, I get very angry. I don't have patience. I'm very impatient
impatient.
when I don't sleep well.
Yeah. Let's do the following one. What do you say about it?
Nervous. Another collocation with get. People get nervous. When do people get nervous? Maybe before an exam, an English exam, for example. Maybe before a job interview. People can get nervous. Can
Or
you think
I'm
of any
getting nervous.
other?
For example, getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. The show is going to start and Monica is not here.
Do you get nervous before Facebook Lives?
Not really. Not anymore. I think the first one I was a little bit nervous. And you? Do you
Yeah.
get nervous?
Not anymore, because we're with friends. We're with Gemma and Christine, so we're with friends. And
No,
with
but
you.
you get used to it. We'll talk about getting used to it. I wanted
Yeah,
to say
get
in
used to.
Spanish is ponerse nervioso. That the reflexive is in ponerse, no? Ponerse nervioso. That is
Hmm.
the next one, because we have many we have many, so we go a little bit faster, right? Get nervous.
Yep.
Well, everybody knows. Nervous. It's difficult to pronounce. Um, get sleepy. I'm getting sleepy. Also, this is quite common when you're tired. If you're tired, you get sleepy. Right? Or you can be watching TV and you get sleepy because you're not because the film is boring. or well, Netflix. I don't know if you have the tablet, it falls on top of you, you get sleepy. I'm getting sleepy because it's boring. Usually, you get sleepy because of two reasons. Number one is that you're tired, and number two is that it's boring. Okay, boring. Yes, Christine, practice makes perfect. Okay, so she says that. So getting sleepy.
I get sleepy after lunch usually. After I have my lunch, I get very sleepy.
Yeah.
And about 10 o'clock, 10:30 now, because I'm getting old, I get sleepy earlier.
Get sleepy. People, our audience can tell us when do they get sleepy. And I wanted to say that this is dormirse. Again, reflexive in Spanish. So dormirse. Now for you, Craig, what about
get involved? Now that's not such a common collocation with get involved, but we do use it, and we use it in more than one way. You can get involved in somebody else's problem or somebody else's life or in an event. Say, for example, you're walking along the street and people are fighting. There's a fight, a violent fight in the street, or a violent demonstration. Maybe the police are involved, and your partner says, don't go there, don't get involved. Don't get involved with the violence. Don't get involved with the problem. The neighbors are arguing. Don't get involved in the neighbors' problems. You can also get involved in a relationship. You can get involved emotionally with someone. So that's kind of a different meaning. You can get involved with a person and have a romantic involvement with them. So that's another meaning of get involved. And of course, you can get involved in your work. You can get involved in a project. And in Spanish, that would be involucrarse.
Yeah, correct. Involucrarse is kind of
I have my notes in front of me. That's the only reason I knew that. Involucrarse. It's difficult for me to say.
Correct. Involucrarse, and it ends in se again. Get involved. Or some people, it can be the opposite. They never get involved in anything.
In anything,
that can be also very annoying, no? If
very apathetic.
Yes, like I don't want to get involved.
I don't want to get involved. Be careful of the pronunciation with that ed ending. Yeah. It's not involved, it's involved. Yeah. It's a voiced sound from the throat. Involved. Yes. Involved.
Yeah. So, and for me, the next one, to get confused. I was going to say, this is confundirse, but I usually say I'm getting mixed up. Confused. I suppose that is less common. I don't know. It's more common to say. What do you use in the everyday language? Do you say I'm getting confused or I'm getting mixed up? Which is
I would use either. I think they're both. Maybe get mixed up is a little bit more informal because it's a phrasal verb. But yep, I would say I get confused with numbers, like numbers and taxes and anything financial. I get confused with anything that's to do with mathematics. I would probably use it also as a verb, maybe not so much with get. It confuses me. Numbers confuse me. Yeah. But I get confused with lots of things because I'm getting older.
Yeah. But isn't it that get confused would be that you have more responsibility?
Not necessarily. I get confused with directions. If I don't have a GPS, if I don't have my phone, if I have a map, I get confused with maps.
The result of not knowing something, of not being good at something. No.
Yeah.
So get confused. And this one is a good one. This is for you.
Get hurt. In Spanish, hacerse daño. You can get hurt in two ways. You can get hurt physically if you fall over, for example. If you're playing a sport or you're walking on the street and you fall over, you can get hurt. And you can also get hurt emotionally. Someone can hurt you emotionally. If you break up with your partner, then you get hurt, not physically, but emotionally. And the pronunciation is the same as in words like turn or learn or nurse. So hurt, get hurt.
Yeah, I got hurt. It
I
can be
get hurt.
physically and emotionally, both things. So here is hacerse daño o hacerse daño o herirse also.
And I get hurt regularly when I go to the gym now because I'm getting old. I get hurt. My legs hurt. I get hurt. My shoulder was hurting last week because I was doing exercises. So I get hurt when I go to the gym just because my body's not young anymore.
Be careful. You can also say, be careful. If you continue doing that, you're going to get hurt, especially with children.
Yeah.
Children. So don't do that because you're going to get hurt. You have to be more careful. Get worried. This is very common, I think. I'm getting worried. For example, my son is not coming home. I'm getting worried.
It's getting late.
It's getting late. Me estoy preocupando. So, me estoy preocupando. It's this me. I'm getting worried because of something. It's getting late. Está anocheciendo. The same as a reflexive. It's getting late. And so I'm getting worried. When do you usually get worried? What are the things that get you worried?
I get worried about people I'm close to. So I get worried about family members because I don't live very close to them. I get worried about friends who are having problems. And I get worried sometimes when I watch the news. When I watch the news of what's going on in the world, I get worried. I get worried about the future. I get worried about climate change. I get worried about lots of things.
But there's a difference between getting worried and being concerned.
Yeah. Concerned, I think, is not so strong.
Exactly. Worried is like perhaps you have trouble sleeping. It's deeper feeling.
Yeah. If you think of a politician who's trying to be more diplomatic, would say, we are very concerned about the situation in Afghanistan, for example.
Yeah.
But if we say we're very worried, then say, well, if you're worried, I should be worried, because that's like stronger than concern.
It's stronger, right? So that's something that in Spanish we don't really have, because in both cases would be me preocupa. And there's not this nuance. There's a nuance in English that you can use worried and concerned.
Exactly.
And this is a difficult one for most people.
Yeah.
So I give it to you. Was it my turn or your turn? I got lost.
I think it's me. But before we look at get used to, Christine's saying it's difficult to draw a line between being worried and being anxious. Yeah. Again, Christine, I think, in my opinion, worried is a bit stronger
than being anxious. I think it's different.
How do you think it's different?
Because people that are anxious suffer from anxiety.
Correct.
And when you're worried, you're not necessarily anxious. You're not suffering from anxiety. It's a kind of condition, you know. Some anxiety is a psychological problem, and also physical problem even, because, for example, you cannot breathe. No. So I think anxious.
Yeah.
We refer to anxious in a broader meaning, but if you really think about it, to be anxious, it's a disease. Well, a condition, an emotional.
Could it be possible that worry is external and anxious is internal? Like you're worried for something that's affecting you from outside, but anxiety is something that maybe comes from your mental state.
Could be. You suffer anxiety. Maybe. You suffer anxiety, and not everybody suffers. I can be worried, and I am not suffering from anxiety. You know? Well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Let's go back.
Let's go back to used to. Now, get used to is the process of becoming used to something, in the sense in Spanish would be acostumbrarse. So you're And it's similar in English. We can use the full verb to get accustomed to something. Let me give you an example. I wasn't born in Spain. I was born in the UK. I was born in London. And in London, we had dinner at 5 p.m. We drove cars on the left side of the road. We had no siestas, and we did not eat paella. We had fish and chips. Now I live here, and I am used to eating later in the evening. I'm used to driving on the right. I'm used to eating lots of rice, etc. But it wasn't one day to the next. I didn't just suddenly become used to these things. It was a process. And that process is getting used to doing something. So I got used to driving on the other side of the road. I got used to eating later in the evening. I got used to eating paella. I got used to having a siesta. Now, I'm sure Christine and Gemma know that I've been using the gerund. When you use used to or get used to, you must use a gerund. If it's a verb, get used to driving, get used to having, get used to doing, get used to seeing, etc. The problem is there's another used to, which is soler or solir in the past, and that's with the infinitive. I used to live in London. I used to drive on the left.
Yeah, and the difference is also that it doesn't go with the verb to be. I used to directly, no? I used to do
Correct.
this that I don't do anymore. Antes hacía esto. Now I don't do it anymore, for example. There's something that finished and you start it again. It doesn't go with to be and doesn't go with get. It's just directly, I used to. They used to. So that's the main difference. But it's quite difficult to differentiate them when you're speaking because
yeah, and I hear lots of mistakes about this.
They get confused with these two expressions because they're similar and because they really don't understand the meaning. You have to be familiar with the meaning. You have to hear examples all the time. So, for example, all the examples that you gave about getting used to, which is a process, you have to be familiar with that. I'm getting used to, for example, watching Facebook Live with Craig and Mónica, or they can say, I used to watch Facebook Live with Craig and Mónica, and now I don't do it anymore because I don't have time.
And I got too sleepy.
Yeah.
Speaking of, excuse me. Speaking of familiar, you use the word familiar a lot. Christine has a nice question again. Do English people use familiarize with to refer to getting used to something? Yes, it's very similar, Christine. Yeah. First of all, when we use familiarize, we'd use it with a reflexive as well. So we'd say please familiar. I can't say the word. Familiarize yourself with these instructions. Familiarize yourself with the grammar. So you'd use it in a reflexive way. And also, it's not exactly the same. To familiarize and to be accustomed to something. To be accustomed to something is more permanent. And familiarize is something you would do in a shorter space of time. So there's a small difference.
And I think it's less common because familiarize is a Latin word. And it comes from family, which is a Latin word. And
accustomed to, I think, is from French, is it?
Also.
But get
used to sounds to me very Germanic expression. Yeah. So it's more colloquial and more common. And to familiarize you, I think get used to is more like a habit. And familiarize is just that you know the thing. You already heard it, you already saw it, it's already known to you, but I don't think that it necessarily means that you are used to it. Yeah,
I can think of examples where you could use them interchangeably, but familiarize, Christine, would sound a little bit more formal to me. With the example, when I first came to Spain, I had to familiarize myself with eating at 11 o'clock in the evening. Yeah. That sounds more formal than I had to get used to doing it.
I think I never heard it.
So not so common
not so
as
common.
used to. Get used to, and maybe a little bit more formal as well.
Okay, other form. We finish with adjective plus get plus
We
adjective.
have,
Yeah.
yes.
And then I wanted to talk about. Let me see. Get a noun. I don't know here. Get a noun is. I was supposed to like a ticker, but I didn't do it right. Okay. Here we have, for example, I don't know. I get home. Okay.
Get home.
Get home. And it's funny because this is the only noun, because everybody tries to say, I want to get to home, or I want, because in Spanish is with llegué a casa.
Or arrive home. I hear arrive home very often, which isn't very common.
No,
I would say
because
get home.
arrive is without destination usually. And home is a destination. And I say this is the only expression where you don't really use any preposition. The preposition is included inside home. Okay, I got home is already I got home. No llegué a casa, sino I got home. I get home very early, so it's a habit. I'm saying that I get home. In this case, in the present tense, I get home very early. I got home very late yesterday because I was very busy, for example. And it just means llegar a casa, get home. Okay, here we have a very common combination. This is called collocation, say a very, very common collocation. Everybody says this. When is she going to get home? I don't know.
When was the last time you got home really late? Is there a curfew in Madrid still?
Late for me, okay? I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
What time did you get home?
I got home at 1 o'clock. That was quite late for me.
That's late these days. Now with the curfew, that's late, yeah.
For my age, probably it's quite late. but I think younger generations, they get home much later. So what time do you, Craig? What time do you usually get home when you go?
I don't go anywhere. I'm always home. I'm always home.
Yeah.
I used to get home late when I was younger. I used to go out in Valencia, go to bars and get home late. But nowadays, I don't go anywhere to get home late. I don't remember the last time I got home really late. What's interesting, as Monica said before, when you use other nouns, you often have a preposition like get to work or get to the office or get to the supermarket or the bank. But with home, as Monica said, no preposition.
No preposition. Let's see this one. Get something. Well,
get
here
something.
Can be anything. Yeah? So you have many.
Yeah, you can get something, which get here probably can translate to buy.
To buy, so exactly. I'm going to get some oranges, for example.
Get a newspaper, get some oranges, get some cigarettes, get some beer. Yeah, so you get something at the shops or you get something at the supermarket means you buy it. Sometimes get has the meaning of buy, sometimes get has the meaning of acquire or change, but in this case it's probably buy. And there's a common collocation, get something to drink with the infinitive, or get something to eat, which is very vague. It's not very clear, but it's common. I'm going to get something to eat, or I'm going to get something to drink. I'm really thirsty.
Yeah, and I was going to say get something. There's another expression, get something done. But that's we need to get something done here, because otherwise we're going to be late, or we're not going to be able to meet the deadline or something like that. No, it's a very common expression. Get something done.
Get something done.
I was going to say that the word "get." I remember when we used to have paper dictionaries, because a long time ago you had the Collins, the Cambridge, all these dictionaries. One time I checked the word "get,"
And it was pages and pages and pages long.
4 pages. It's the longest. For and get and set have the most numerous definitions in the dictionaries. 4 pages of definitions. That's why Craig says it can mean buy something. It can mean to arrive. It can mean 10 different things. So that's why it's important to learn collocations. That's why we're here, trying to teach you all these collocations.
And using these collocations with get will make you sound more natural, more native speaker, because native speakers use get very, very often with things.
A lot.
Monica's going to the supermarket and I'd say, hey, Monica, can you get me something while you're there? Oh, yes. What do you want? And then I say what I want. Can you get me something? Yeah. Can you buy something for me?
Something that's not very common. Can you get something? I'm going to get some bread. Do you want anything? Yeah. So now the next one for me, get a call. Get a call is funny because get a call can be confusing. It's not to get call. Be careful. Not get call. Get call sería enfriarse. This means get a call is coger un catarro. At least in Spanish from Spain. See if you have a. Here we have Christine. Well, Christine has a very good question here.
Very nice. Getting to grips.
With. Yeah. How can we translate that, Christina? Getting to grips with getting expressions. Yeah, it's very.
She's feeling comfortable with them.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's a very good.
I'm very happy, Christine, that on your birthday you're getting to grips with get expressions.
Get expressions. Get expressions.
Hey, Christine, what did you get for your birthday?
Oh, another get.
In the meaning of receive. What did you get?
Receive.
What did you receive? Did you get any nice presents? Did you get a new dictionary?
And for example, I was going back. Get a call. When was the last time you got a call?
Well, since COVID, I've been really, really careful. Now I wear a mask when I'm on the street when I go outside. So obviously, I'm not getting close to anyone. I haven't got a cold for more than 2 years because of COVID. Because everybody's wiping everything, everyone's washing their hands. So nobody's getting colds because nobody's getting the virus. Because the virus or a disease you can also get in the same way as a cold. You can get polio, you can get yellow fever, you can get malaria, you can get all these horrible diseases, which means you receive them.
Yeah.
Get infected.
Get a call, and then this is for you.
Get a bite. Yeah. To bite is you bite food. So here it's a noun, and if you get a bite, that means you have something to eat. And that's also with a collocation, to eat, get a bite to eat. Very colloquial, very common. Hey, I'm getting hungry. Let's go to the cafe and get a bite to eat. Or I'm going to the fridge to get a bite to eat. Now, it's not a meal. It's not a lot of food. It's a snack. It may be a sandwich or a biscuit or some bread and cheese, just a bite because you feel a little hungry. Get a bite.
You would usually say, for example, you're working. My husband always says, I need to get a bite because you need to take a break and maybe have a coffee and, I don't know, some bread or something like that very quickly. And then he says this, I need to get a bite. I'm really tired and I'm really hungry, so I need to get a bite in between. So it's really not too many. We're going very fast. We're getting through.
We're getting through
this in no
all
time.
Of these.
So, next one for you. No, this
What's
is for
the next
me.
one?
Get
for you.
Permission. Yeah, this is for me. This is very easy.
No, you missed one, Monica. There's get pregnant.
And what? I didn't.
You didn't put get pregnant.
No, I didn't write that. Okay, get pregnant. So
we can do it. We can do it later.
Ocultar. No, get pregnant. Get pregnant. Well, but I was thinking, get pregnant is a noun. You're right, because she's But wait, no.
No,
It's
an
an
adjective.
adjective. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't put it there.
Ah, okay. We're doing, get. That's the
Because
reason.
it's
Get
get a
plus
noun. I
noun.
was thinking, I thought, no,
So
get
it should have
pregnant
been in the first
in the
group.
first group, but I was afraid because we had too many.
I got
And
confused.
I got confused. And I thought, no, because pregnant, what is it? I was thinking of the big belly, and I thought, is that a thing? No, it's actually an adjective. Pregnant. She is pregnant. She got pregnant. So she got pregnant. So
Or
quedarse
sometimes it's used
embarazada.
reflexive in English as well.
Yeah.
She's got herself pregnant. If you're
Well,
blaming her,
yeah,
get yourself pregnant is
yeah,
fairly common.
yeah. Okay. So get
Why did you
pregnant.
get yourself pregnant?
Yeah.
It takes two
Well,
people.
that was a mistake. Okay, and then I had get permission.
Get
I need to
permission.
get permission. Permission is also a Latin word. To me, it sounds quite formal. But you can use it that way. I need to get permission, for example. I would say it for in a legal context, for you need to get permission, for example, to access that farm, because it's not possible just to go through that door. You need or gate. You need to get permission. I think for Spanish speakers, this is very easy collocation, because permission is the same word in Spanish, and there's no confusion there. I can get a bite. What is a bite? Una mordida or something. And what is a bite? Well, when do you get bites? But get permission, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
And the last one we have, which is also a noun.
Get permission and
get a chance, no? For you.
Get a chance. Sorry, get a chance, which in Spanish will be tener una oportunidad. Get a chance, and it's often followed by an infinitive. So you would get a chance or get the chance to do something. Maybe you get a chance to study abroad, or you get a chance to increase your salary, or you get a chance to get a better job. Get a chance to do something.
When
get a chance to travel.
Yeah. When was the last time you got a chance to travel?
When I went to that conference in, was it 2 years ago in March? So it was, a long time ago. I haven't had a chance to travel. Well, I went to Tarragona for 3 days. That was nice.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a chance to go and see some friends, but I haven't had the chance to travel for a long time
to get
abroad.
A chance. Yeah. To get a chance. Well, I cannot think of more examples, but I think it's quite clear. Chance is a French word, by the way. I think it's a quite common French word that means opportunity.
Yep.
To get an opportunity to do something, no? Oh, look at Christine. Thank you, Christine, for your... There's a high chance I get some presents after dinner. Great.
I wouldn't use that collocation high chance. I would say good chance. High possibility, yes, but high chance doesn't really collocate. So there's a good chance I'll get some presents after dinner. Let's hope so. Let us know next week what you got, if you did get some presents after dinner. Should we finish by just thinking up some phrasal verbs with get, because there are many while we're on the subject of get? Christine and Gemma, can you think of any phrasal verbs that you know of with get?
Okay,
for example, get ahead. If you get ahead with work, then you progress with something. I'm getting ahead with the project. I'm getting ahead with my studies. I'm in a good position. I'm progressing. I'm getting ahead.
There are many with get up.
Get up in the morning.
Well, a lot of people confuse get up with wake up. I noticed.
Yes.
They say they say wake up when they mean get up, and they say get up when they mean. So it's a different wake up. First you wake up, and then you get up. So it's the second thing you do. You get up. What time did you get up yesterday?
I got up at I don't remember yesterday, but I got up this morning at 10 to 7. Early
Quite
for me.
early.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time
Quite
did you
early.
get up?
I usually get up 50 minutes after 7, more or less. That's my usual time. So get up. To get up, phrasal verbs. Get
over, because we had the
over.
collocation get a cold or get the flu. To recover from something is to get over something. Have you got over your cold? There's another thing while we're speaking about get. The participle of get in British English is got, so it's get, got. But in American English, they say get, got, gotten. So an American English speaker would say, I've gotten over my flu. And a British English speaker would say, I've got over my flu, my cold.
And Cristina is mentioning something interesting. Get along es llevarse bien. But for British is get on. It's more, I think get along is more American. We get along. In British, we get on. Craig and I, we get on very well.
We get on well.
And also get on means how are you getting on with your new job, for example?
How's it going?
It's like, how's it going? ¿Cómo te apañas con eso? So
¿Cómo
it has
va?
several meanings. ¿Cómo va? But get along is the American phrasal verb for getting on with someone. So,
can you think of any, Gemma? Can you think of any phrasal verbs with get? Yeah. There's get about. You get about a city. How do you get about? I get about by train, or I get around. How do you get around your city where you live? Do you get around by bicycle? Do you get around by car? Get around or get about.
It would be something like to move, like moverse. ¿Cómo te mueves en la ciudad? ¿No?
How do you get around Madrid? By car, mostly?
By car, most of the time, because I live in a town that is next to Barajas, and the public transport is not very good here, because you have to wait like for an hour. There's one bus every hour, and well, it's not. I don't usually go to Madrid, but if I go to Madrid, I'll take the car because it's the fastest way.
You get there by car.
I get there by car. Yes, to get about.
No more. There's get across is another one.
Get across.
You can physically get across something, because remember, phrasal verbs can have a literal meaning or they can have an idiomatic meaning. So literally, to get across the road, to get across the bridge, to get across to the other side. But you can also get an idea across to someone, which means to communicate. Yeah.
Communicate. So get your message. I like
get your message across. Yeah, get your message across. Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
It's a very common expression. I said he can get. I'm also, when I'm level testing, I say he can get his message across, but he lacks precision in the language, because you getting the message across is almost for everybody is possible, because you're going to understand, but perhaps it's not a very precise language. No, so you get the message across. It's a very common expression also. Then, well, I think that's it. If you can't think of any more, no, we can call it a day. And the first thing I would like to say is thank you to all the people that decided to come, because it's a pleasure to have you. And this is like a small group. And now I'll say thank you to Craig also, that wanted to join me here in the pipe. And I'll see you again in 2 weeks, and then next week is Craig with Lynn, and nothing else. That's it for today.
We have to get going. So
get going.
We're going to say goodbye.
Get started. Also, we didn't say get started.
Get started.
Yeah. Also, empezar is to get started, and get going is continue with something. To leave.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, and see you next week for Craig.
Next time.
Next 2 weeks.
Have a lovely week, and I hope, Christine, you get lots of presents after dinner. And Gemma, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.